right. Hey, what's going on, everybody? We're a little late.
A little
We're
late.
going to leave it to Will to explain what happened.
Mike came over and broke my door down. He
Yeah,
woke me up.
you damn right, man.
I was worried.
I was
Mike
ready to
was
just come
calling
down,
me.
start pounding on. And that's I said to him, I don't know exactly what your house number is. Well, actually, I do. I do have
You
your
would've-
address. I would have.
Yeah, you
I
would've
do
found
have your
me. You
address.
would have found me.
Yeah, I would have found you. I just look for a white Honda. That's all.
Even I have his address. Come on now.
Yeah, I do. I forgot. Oh man, you don't know. I'm like inching this way to the door little by little, like going, I don't believe I'm going to be doing this, but I'm going to, I'm like going, and I got to hand it your wife. The wife is the hero of the show today. Okay.
Well, what did she say?
She said something about you're out cold or something like that. I'm like,
Oh,
you're
yeah.
supposed to be screaming right now.
Yeah,
Well, see, I was sitting here praying. That's probably why you're still alive.
Nah,
Oh my
nah,
god!
I wasn't dead. I don't got the corona yet.
Yeah.
Don't say yet. Don't say yet.
I
Don't
mean,
say yet.
if I'm gonna get it, it ain't gonna kill me. I don't got no pre-existing conditions.
I guess that's a good attitude.
I
like Jerome's attitude better than yours.
I still think it's important to be safe. When you can be, please. Please.
He's on the front. He's on the front line.
And you're on the front lines, man. You got to take care of yourself.
That's true.
Nah, corona ain't gonna get me. I'm all right. We got a couple people. I told Jerome earlier they might have it, but
Will, you know how many people love you? I mean, they're all in there typing. They're all worried about you.
Yeah, like chat's blowing up.
I was in the room early though, and then I was like, "It's early. Let me go lay down." That was like
that was
6:15.
Yeah. That was it. Good night.
You see what Eleanor just put there, Will?
Oh yeah, yeah, I'm good.
See, and look at Brian. Look at Brian. You should put those on screen so people can see them.
It's Brian's. I forgot all about that. It's Brian's fault. He was like,
I like how you're blaming Brian.
So I was like, let me go sleep. That's how
Brian has a fair point. When do you sleep? You seem to be on anytime I stream. Doesn't matter when, you're on there anyway.
Nah, but you see, I missed like 2 of your streams because I didn't wake up.
Listen, I missed 2. I'm like, oh man.
So what have we learned? Do not talk to Brian on Telegram because he has the power to put you to sleep.
Yeah.
I guess so.
Oh wow, Brian, you have that power. There's no, was it the watch going over? You feel sleepy.
Tana, you missed all the excitement. Nobody could find Will for like a half an hour.
Yeah, we were all worried, Tana.
I didn't even need NyQuil. I don't even need to take nothing.
No, no.
All right. I don't even know. Whichever y'all want to start with, because I had everything pulled. I was all ready to go.
This is your stream. You're in charge here, brother.
Oh, this is.
I'm gonna do them how I got them then. The Mac is backwards. When I open them, they open on the other side. All right.
Just tell us what story to start with.
What is this called? Oh, the video conferencing.
Okay.
Yeah. I think Jerome. I think you covered this, didn't you?
I've been covering every story since I'm streaming every day now.
Yeah, you covered this today, right?
I think maybe I'm losing count of what I'm reporting and not. So,
all right, I've got the screen shared. If you want to show it.
All right, I got it.
Okay.
Oh, clear the chat there. Will.
There you go.
Oh, my bad. Oh, I don't even know whose comment that is. Brian. Wow, that's up there. All right.
All right. You reading?
Yeah, I got it.
Okay.
Video conferencing apps saw a record 62 million downloads during 1 week in March. Work from home policies, social distancing, and government lockdowns have increased the demand for video conferencing apps for both personal and business use. According to a new report, the app Annie, out on Monday, business conferencing apps have been experiencing record growth as a result, and just hit their biggest week ever in March, when they topped 62 million downloads during the week of March 14th to the 21st. Meanwhile, social networking video app House Party has also seen phenomenal growth in Europe during lockdowns and home quarantines. While such growth was to be expected, App Annie's report provides real world content about just how many new customers these apps are gaining during this time. For example, the jump in business app downloads to 62 million across iOS and Google's Play Store earlier in March was up 45% just the prior week. It was also the highest growth among any category across the app stores that week, the report said, and it was up 90% from the weekly average of business app downloads in 2019. Much of the growth in the category is due to the increased adoption of apps like Google's @Hangout Meets, Microsoft's Teams, and Zoom Cloud Meetings. Zoom topped the charts worldwide in February and March and continues to see high numbers of downloads in the US, UK, and elsewhere in Europe. During the record week of downloads, Zoom was downloaded 14 times more than the weekly average during the fourth quarter of 2019 in the US. It was also downloaded more than 20 times quarter four's weekly average in the UK, 22 times more in France, 17 times more in Germany, 27 times more in Spain, and an average 55 times more in Italy. A related report from the App Store intelligence firm Sensor Tower saw Zoom's US download somewhat higher in mid-March, but noted that the term Zoom wasn't a top 100 term in the US App Store before the week of March 9th. That meant many new users were being sent the app's installation page directly, such as via a link shared in a work email, calendar invite, or an intranet site, perhaps. At the same time, in March, Google's Hangouts Meet was seeing strong downloads in the UK, Spain, and Italy. In particular, with 24 times, 30 times, 64 times, and 140 times the average weekly downloads in Q4, respectively. Microsoft's Teams saw significant, though not as strong, growth in Spain, France, and Italy at 15 times, 16 times, and 30 times the weekly levels of downloads in Q4, respectively. In terms of consumer apps, social video conferencing app House Party, popular among Generation Z, has been rapidly growing in Europe and elsewhere. The app benefits from network effects, meaning as more friends and family join House Party, the app becomes more useful. It then gets launched and used more often too. In Italy, the week ending on March 21st saw House Party downloads surge 423 times the average weekly number of downloads in Q4 2019. In Spain, House Party skyrocketed with 2,360 times the number of downloads in the week ending March 21st, compared with Q4. Also notable is that Spain was a market where before House Party didn't have any wide-scale penetration. Because of the COVID-19 outbreak, it now has a base in a region where it otherwise may have never reached. Unlike the business conferencing apps, House Party aims to make video chat a more personal and social experience. When you launch the app, it shows you're free to talk and who else is online, similar to other messaging apps. But there's also live parties to join and in-app games to play, which signals the app is not meant for your virtual office meetings.
Yeah.
Business apps aren't the only ones booming at this time, of course. Educational apps, including Google Classroom and ABC Mouse, have also spiked in March, as have grocery delivery apps like Instacart. As people face uncertain timelines for the length of social isolation, video conferencing apps have the potential to vastly influence our daily habits, breaking down geological barriers and fostering the ability to work and socialize relatively seamlessly, noted App Annie in its report. It is an unprecedented time for the world and an incredibly dynamic time for mobile. We are seeing shifts in customer behavior surface daily across virtually every sector, the firm concluded.
Damn.
So a lot of people using video conferencing, pretty much.
Yeah, those jumps are incredible.
I never heard any of them.
Yeah, I you haven't heard of House Party?
No, not
I
until
never heard of it either.
Oh, that one's not
Jerome,
bad.
you're the one that keeps up with the young people here.
Nah, I don't
Nobody else.
keep up with the young people. I keep aware with some of the tech.
No, I'm with George on this.
He's
You're
pretty
a
young.
youngster.
No,
Yeah,
I'm not a
You
young.
are
Get outta
pretty
here.
young.
Get outta here.
Keep in mind, Jerome, you could be my kid's kid. You know?
No, get out of here.
Jerome, my son is 55 years old.
Okay, so maybe.
Okay.
He would have just
Anyway.
been a young man.
No, but anyway, yeah. I mean, obviously, this isn't a surprise, right? Everybody's at home. People are going to be using a ton of video conferencing apps. It's just
Exactly.
I'm worried about Zoom though, because it's like every day in the news, it's something about privacy being leaked on Zoom.
And there's
every day.
something worse every day with Zoom.
Yeah, I mean, I guess this is to be expected. You have an app that's exploding that a ton of people are using, and of course, people are gonna try to find those holes and try to expose what vulnerabilities it has.
Yeah.
But I mean, how else are we supposed to communicate today? This is all we got right now. This is all we got is
The
video
only thing that
chatting
bothers
with
me
everyone.
with Zoom is there's so many teachers using it with kids, and that's really bad. With
Yeah,
privacy.
I don't know if you noticed. I said it on one of my streams. There was somebody who hijacked one of the chats or one of the Zoom classrooms, and he was naked in there, and it was a bunch of
Nice.
9-year-olds in
Didn't
the
see that.
classroom. Crazy.
Yeah, I'd like to get that guy in an alley for about 5 minutes.
I don't know if I would. I just
I
like,
would.
go away.
Oh, I
Get outta
would.
here.
Trust me, I would. Only one of us would walk
He
out.
might
of
like
that
to have you in the alley too.
Oh God.
I don't like people that take advantage of people,
No,
especially
I
kids.
totally understand what you're saying.
And,
though.
and my normal reaction is I want to hurt them, and I want to hurt them badly.
I gotcha.
I'm still a Jersey guy, basically.
I think in the past like 3 weeks, I've used with the kids' school Zoom. I don't know, they were confused or something. They used Zoom, they used the Google, the Hangouts Meet, the house party, and I never even heard of those.
So they're switching around.
They use
They
house
keep
party. They
switching.
use house party.
No, they didn't use that. They used the Hangouts Meet. We use that, and then now every morning she's like Zoom meeting at 11. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna be asleep at 11.
But that's the thing too, is like part of me also I was chatting earlier, and it's funny because there's going to be a lot of people now who need to use video conferencing or just any kind of like video chat in schools. And someone was telling me that they were like, Jerome, do you know how easy is it to upload a video on YouTube? I'm like, it's pretty easy. And she was like, well, because I got to turn something in for homework. And it's just turning people into like,
So they're uploading their homework to YouTube?
well, because they're doing a video essay or a video kind of like assignment or whatever.
Yeah, I guess
And
if you upload it and share it privately or on some, yeah.
Well, I mean, the thing is, part of me is also like, this is going to make people become YouTubers or
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
use online platforms a
there's
lot more.
gonna- yeah.
Because the first reply was like, oh, I'm just scared to I feel weird being in front of the camera. But now if this is going to be our life for some
Yeah.
amount of time, yeah, I mean, obviously there's going to be an uptick in all of that too.
Yeah, I didn't think about that, but that's true.
Yeah, this is terrible. I cannot be no teacher. Anybody who's a teacher, y'all get all my respect.
That's a lot of respect for
I
sure.
could not do it for real. I couldn't, and they're my kids, and I couldn't do it. Jeez, I don't know how they teach kids that ain't there. So I have no idea. They earn them Christmas gifts they get. That's crazy. For real. I used to be like, why are we sending them Christmas gifts? And now I'm like, they need more. They need gifts on Easter, on any day they can get them. I couldn't do it. Drives me crazy.
All right, so the next story becomes even more relevant, doesn't it?
Yeah,
It
yeah.
definitely does. And that opens
Next
up the story. I mean, these messaging apps. What information are they getting from us on a daily basis?
Exactly.
Everything.
Oh, and as an aside, folks, if my audio sounds better, it's because Jerome forced me to use my microphone.
I'm trying to help you guys channels
Jerome's
have people
been tearing
understand
us
what you're
apart.
saying without it like cutting. This whole time since the stream started, you guys haven't cut out. I haven't heard a cutout
Jerome's
yet.
like,
Okay.
what kind of internet do you guys got? Do
I
a
know,
speed
I was-
test when you
It's
get
okay,
home.
Jerome. I'm used to young people pushing me around. It's okay.
I'm not trying.
Oh, man.
You know what's funny is I was trying to title a video today with the word bully because I was like, Apple's bullying OnePlus because Apple's thinking about releasing their
Yeah.
new phone the same day as when OnePlus is going to do it.
Right.
So as soon as I tried to
Which
say,
is what they did last year.
yeah, which is what they did last time. And so when I tried putting Apple bullying OnePlus, it got demonetized. So I had to delete the video and re-upload it. I was like,
Really?
Yeah,
Just
'cause
change the title, huh?
you can't use the word bully. So I just said Apple rains on OnePlus's
Oh
parade.
my god.
There you
But
go.
don't worry,
There
don't worry. You'll get demonetized for something.
Oh,
'cause
I get demonetized for everything, so it's fine.
But you know what you
YouTube
should have
loves
done, Jerome. You should have spelled Reigns as REIGHN.
Oh, there you go.
All right, who's reading? Should I read it?
Go for it.
Go for it. Yeah.
Okay. All right. This is on imore.com. And it's very related to the last story. Zoom's company directory feature pulled thousands of personal email addresses, exposing user data. The dumpster fire that is Zoom's security and privacy practices continues to rage after it emerged that Zoom's company directory feature pulled thousands of strangers together, exposing personal danger. According to a report from Motherboard, popular video conferencing Zoom is leaking personal information of at least thousands of users, including their email addresses and photo, and giving strangers the ability to attempt to start a video call with them through Zoom. The issue lies in Zoom's company directory setting, which automatically, now get this, adds other people to a user's list of contacts if they signed up with an email address that shares the same domain. This can make it easier to find a specific colleague to call when the domain belongs to an individual company. But multiple Zoom users say they signed up with personal email addresses, and Zoom pooled them together with thousands of other people as if they all work for the same company, exposing their personal information to one another. The report cites users who created Zoom accounts and were met with the information of some 995 other people they had never met or heard of, including their names, images, and mail addresses. Wow. The above screenshot, I'll go back to it, provided to the initial report shows an instance of the company directory feature and how it pulled together hundreds of random users. The report notes that on Zoom's website, it explains the directory feature as follows. By default, your Zoom contacts directory contains internal users in the same organization who are either in the same account or whose email address is the same domain as yours, except for publicly used domains, including Gmail, Yahoo, Hotmail, etc., in the company directory section. And here's where the problem comes in. However, as Vice has noted, Zoom seems to have forgotten about a few personal domains, notably several Dutch ISPs and their domains, XS4All, NL, DDLs-NL, and QuickNet-NL. On Twitter, they found other instances of Dutch users reporting the issue. Here's a tweet. I just had a look at the free for private use version of Zoom and registered with my private email. I now got 1,000 names, email addresses, and even pictures of people in the company directory. Is this intentional? The revelation is another extremely unnerving blunder in Zoom's privacy and security practices that have been exposed recently since the app's surge in popularity, driven by global social distancing measures. In the last week alone, it has emerged that Zoom's calls are not end-to-end encrypted, despite several claims that they are, that Zoom was previously sending user data to Facebook, even if they didn't have Facebook accounts. That's as bad as it gets. A flaw it has rectified, and that Zoom uses a very shady pre-installation protocol for Mac OS, the same kind used by Mac OS malware to bypass Mac OS security. It's important to note that, as mentioned, this does not affect users with common email addresses such as Gmail, Yahoo, or Hotmail accounts. However, Zoom appears to have missed enough personal email domains such that thousands of users have had their personal data shared with strangers. I mean, as a programmer for 34 years, just sounds like some of the worst, shabbiest program that could possibly be to me.
I mean, those holes are being exposed. Did you guys see the thing about LinkedIn? I don't know if you saw.
No.
I talked about that, I think, on my stream, where on LinkedIn, you were able to look at other people, because when you use LinkedIn, it shows you who checks your profile out. I think that's one of the things about LinkedIn. If you click on someone's name, they're going to know you saw it. Well,
Exactly.
So now on Zoom, you're able to click. If you use, I think, a certain service, you're able to click on it and get all of their information without them even knowing that you've clicked on their name. But they've also done it where they tried to sign in anonymously. They tried to sign in completely anonymously, but the other, because they had two different users use it, and the person used a completely different email address and it still was able to find them on LinkedIn. It knew. I don't know how it knew. I don't know how it. Again, people are smart enough to use technology to scrape stuff and get data or whatever, but maybe it's intentional, maybe it's not. I don't know.
Like they're looking at their MAC address, because if they're looking at their MAC address, it doesn't matter what email you use. Your MAC address didn't change.
Yeah, they just need to figure out what's going on with the security. So I
think they have really bad programmers there. That's what it says. And the scary part is right this second, what is the most popular one in the world? Zoom.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I used Zoom once so far. I had to actually, StreamYard was down for I think an hour or so, and I had to use Zoom in the meantime to have a conference call with one of the people I work with, and her internet wasn't the best, and I don't know. Have you guys used Zoom? Because
I tried.
I never used
before. I tried StreamYard, and I didn't like it very much.
Well,
I don't remember why, but I didn't like it very much.
When Zoom starts to lag, it slows the video down and tries to fill in the gaps, and it just doesn't work as well, I think, as StreamYard does, at least in my experience.
Right.
Yeah, I realize too that all these holes that they're finding, it wasn't really thought of. They never thought in a million years that we would have this situation like that. But I'm not saying they're wrong, but it was very low key usage, was it not? I mean,
yeah,
for
Will, you should highlight Gary's comment there. That's a pretty good one. It's showing exactly what
I thought it was the one about the hat.
I mean, this shows exactly what this article was just talking about.
Well, I don't think Gary is serious there. I don't think Gary's serious.
I was believing. I'm probably the most gullible of the bunch.
I just read it.
Anyway, there are obviously holes that need to be fixed, but who's to say that there aren't holes in StreamYard either? StreamYard isn't as big as Zoom, and if it ever did get as big as Zoom and people started,
somebody's gonna find something.
Yeah. And before you know it, the webcam on my light's gonna turn on one day when I'm not even trying to turn it on, and yeah. I mean, I'm going to be held for ransom. I know who you are. I know the channel you have.
One thing to find holes, but if your programming starts linking together domains and it's not paying attention what domains are linking together, that's not holes. That's just really shoddy programming.
Yeah, I mean, that's for sure. Oh, Gary saying that could happen. Did it really?
You see.
I can't tell if Gary's being serious.
Oh, wow.
Oh man.
Oh, jeez.
Gary,
I know Gary's sitting in his chair
laughing. Nobody believes you anymore.
Oh man.
So I see here Zoom isn't actually end-to-end encryption, huh?
No, it is not.
Again,
jeez, dude. I mean, is there anything? That's what I mean. I'm like going, Zoom, man.
There's a lot of Zoom stories right now. There's a lot.
As far as
didn't your mom use that?
One that is end-to-end encrypted. Telegram's the only one that's end-to-end encrypted. As far as I know.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I think you're right.
I'm worried now. She got together with her choir group on Zoom. Oh man.
Anyway, I've got the next story there and ready. Whoever's going to take.
So, are we doing this Zoom story again, or do you
we
guys
can
want
go to the Zoom story? I guess.
I'll take
the end-to-end, the encrypted one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. You want me to do it?
Go for it.
It don't matter.
Zoom isn't actually end-to-end encrypted. Zoom can still access your video meetings. So what do you mean? Zoom themselves can. All right. Anyway,
yeah, sounds like it.
Zoom states on its website and its security white paper that it supports end-to-end encryption for its meetings, but in a new research from the Intercept,
Yeah.
thank you, reveals that not exactly true. The Intercept asked Zoom spokesperson whether the video meetings that take place on the platform are end-to-end encrypted. And the spokesman said, currently it's not possible to enable E2E encryption for Zoom in video meetings. Zoom uses TLS encryption, the same standard that web browsers use to secure HTTPS websites. In practice,
still use I was using TLS encryption 20 years ago at work.
That means the data that is encrypted between you and Zoom servers, similar to Gmail and Facebook content, but the term end-to-end encryption typically refers to protecting content between the users entirely with no company access at it at all. Similar to Signal or WhatsApp, Zoom does not offer what level of encryption does not offer that level of encryption, making it the user of end-to-end highly misleading,
or just a lie.
No, we wouldn't say that now. Zoom, however, denies that it's misleading users. St. George are saying that they're not misleading. The company told the Intercept. Yeah. When we've used the phrase end-to-end in our literature, it is in reference to a connection being encrypted from Zoom to the endpoint to Zoom endpoint, and that is not decrypted as it transfers across Zoom Cloud.
So they're trying to use double talk to redefine what end-to-end means, and it's not working.
Yeah, that's why I was chuckling, like going, this sounds like a salesman's talk here.
Exactly.
Zoom's in-meeting text chat does appear to support E2E. Zoom says it does not have the keys to decrypt those messages. So you can text people in between while you're having them. Oh, that's interesting.
They don't. They have this thing. This is the thing. They say they don't have the keys, but if you have E2E support, I was never able to use E2E unless I got the encryption key first before I was ever able to use it. So what's the point in sending somebody an encryption if they can't decrypt it? That makes no sense.
Wow. George needs to go down there and kick some butt down there. Holy smokes. That's great. That's great.
You know what? It's probably that guy that you need to meet in the house.
Yeah.
He's probably running Zoom right now.
Yeah.
Make fun of the old guy.
No, hey, this is like talking about 5G with me, okay? So I get you. Zoom also told the Incept that it only collects user data that it needs to improve its service, including IP addresses, OS detail, and device details, and does not allow employees to access the specific content of the meeting. It also said that it doesn't sell user data of any kind. However, it is possible that the company could be compelled to hand over meeting recordings for legal proceedings. Zoom did not respond to requests for comments.
Of course not.
So what this boils down to is they want you to believe what they're telling you, despite what's on their actual network.
Now, I've heard talk about Zoom having it free, but yet there's a caveats. There's little things going on here. Then there's the paid version.
Yeah. But that's normal.
So that paid version is what I was talking about, where you were able to go grab people's LinkedIn info and do some nefarious stuff, which is what kind of
And that's a paid thing.
That's one of your benefits of it being paid.
Yeah,
They're like,
at least from what I read, but they turned that off now because everyone
Yeah,
complained
you
about
think it would get better security-wise when you pay for it, not worse?
Yeah, you would think.
Well, it sounds like it's made for people who want to be creepers. So
Yeah,
I don't know.
exactly.
Man, I tell you, Zoom, it's not worth it. Not worth it at all.
it's a little shady. There's a lot going on with that app.
Yeah, I don't know.
And I think it's going to be around for a long time.
I'm about to say it's not going to go nowhere because people keep using it. And
yeah, but also I'm talking about though too the repercussions from all this. You know what I
why
mean?
don't people just use Duo?
What's this about to do?
So why don't people use that?
Because Duo is a little different. It's not. Duo is more for like a
I never used
FaceTime
it
kind of deal.
before. It's not.
Yeah. I think and this is where I complained about it before. This is why that's why Google needs to figure out how to make Duo and put a messaging thing together.
I downloaded
Or they need
what happened there.
They need to push out that Hangouts thing that they were doing. This would be the time people would use it.
What is this?
Everybody's stuck in the house.
Hangouts Meet, Hangouts Chat.
Yeah.
They need to do it.
But even that's not together. Those are two separate. Hangouts Meet is video. Hangouts Chat is text. They're not together. They're completely separate apps. Yeah.
Well, what was the
As Bill would say, well, isn't that Google?
So what was the consumer side they were supposed to be given? So what are we supposed to be getting if they ever fix?
They're supposed to integrate. I think one of the two. Hangouts Chat. I think maybe. I could be wrong.
Yeah. No, I think you're right.
That's Google.
Yeah, exactly.
That is Google. Google is something.
Hangouts Meet is one department and Hangouts Chat is another department who don't talk to each other.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense. That makes zero sense whatsoever. Hey guys, let's make a messaging app, but let's separate the two functions that you use messaging for. Let's completely separate them. I don't know.
The other group that has Hangouts Chat, the Hangouts group says, "Hey guys, let's make a chat one, but we won't tell the other guys." Come on.
Then when they go do their presentation, they're like, "Wow, these are pretty." And whoever made the decision is like, "Yeah, let's keep them apart."
That's why I just switched over to Telegram. I'm like, I'm done with it. It's fine. I'm ready to move on.
Does Telegram have any video conferencing?
No.
So I actually just tried doing that earlier with Mike. I tried to call you, George. I tried to call Will too, and I couldn't. It only let me do one at a time. But
audio can't do.
Yeah, audio worked pretty well on it. I think video worked okay on it too, right, Mike? Did my video seem okay? Mike's too busy. He's not.
There was a video. No.
There's no video. You can do like a phone call on there.
You did a phone call. Yeah.
When you do it, it like shows you like emojis or something in the top, and it'll be like, do these match up to let you know that the call is encrypted or something like that.
It seems to me Telegram would greatly benefit if they jumped on this and got some conference.
George or Mike, somebody I know y'all remember. I don't know if Jerome was paying attention when this happened. Didn't Telegram get like taken out the store because something with Russia or
for about 5 or 6 months ago, a lot of people in the U.S. government, of course, started freaking out because the owner of Telegram is Russian and he lives in Russia. Well, they didn't like that, but it's the best one out there, so deal with it.
Yeah, because I remember, I think I had it on my. Put it on the iPhone. It was gone. Like it wasn't in the. It wasn't in the Play Store.
The X, the Telegram X was.
That one's
completely gone.
Right.
Russia is involved with it. It's supposed to be bad. I'm sorry, I don't believe that.
No, I'm with you, George. I feel the same way. With all the nefarious stuff that's going on in this, I'm already getting politicized.
I'm with you 100%. I know where you're going, and I'm with you.
I'll leave it alone. So.
Mike, you see what Gary said?
Mike, don't order.
That's good. That's good. Good for you, Gary. Now, see, my attitude is,
you got me on that one, bud.
Order a phone so we can have a week-to-week show going on.
Yeah, good one.
He said he has stuff to do on Sunday, not Saturday. It's going to take a while.
Mike's turning all red. I love it.
I was looking to see about any news about Telegram in the news, and Gary comes around. I'm done. I'm done. Got Express.
yeah.
Oh, look at Brian jumping on this. Yeah, real nice.
Mike's
Real
got one.
nice.
What's it called? PayPal one click or something.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's like
yeah.
that,
That's right. PayPal does have one click. That's right.
Oh
man.
man. So, Will, I see the next story. That's why you're going to get back in Android. It's this way you can guarantee you get half your money back,
yeah, I'm
right?
gonna get half my money back.
God,
Yeah.
I was just complaining about this too.
Right, you talked about.
I guess
this
we
too,
can read it
right.
first, but it don't. It's not even a. I don't know. Whatever.
We can just quickly skim through it and then talk.
Yeah,
about
about
it.
yeah, you register.
Oh,
Yeah,
this was,
I'll-
I got it up already, Will.
Okay,
All right.
I'll read it. I'll read it. So this article from Droid Life says Samsung launches a 24-month 50% buyback guarantee on the Galaxy S20 line because they're desperate. That's my guess. So Samsung might be struggling to sell the Galaxy S20 lineup like they have previous devices. So to try and further push you into forking out $1,000 or more, they appear to have just launched a new guaranteed buyback program. This new program is a way for Samsung customers to potentially recoup 50% of the cost of a Galaxy S20 up to 2 years later. It looks like Samsung's referring to this as the 50% buyback guarantee. Again, they need your money. And assuming you hang onto a phone and treat it right, you could get half of the money back that you paid for your Galaxy S20, S20 Plus, or S20 Ultra. This isn't a trade-in program. It's a send your phone back and get cash program. The program allows Galaxy S20 owners who bought their phones directly from Samsung to opt into a guaranteed buyback situation that covers the phone for 24 months. During that 2-year period, if you decide you want to return your phone, you can do so and get 50% of the cost back. For Galaxy S20, that would mean $499.99 back, or at least $600 back for the S20 Plus. The S20 Ultra, you could get back up to $800. Now,
Let me stop you for a split second. Now, notice, people, that's for people who bought their phones directly from Samsung. I could not do it because I bought mine from Best Buy. Just want to make sure people are aware of that.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, you gotta like sign
No, I
up.
bought mine. No, I just bought mine unlocked, but I bought it from Best Buy, so I couldn't use.
I
that
gotcha.
program.
Yeah. Okay, so now there are a set of conditions your phone needs to meet before Samsung will hand you cash back to your original payment account. The phone needs to turn on, have a functioning display with no issues, no breaks or cracks anywhere, a minimal amount of dings or scratches or dents, no water damage, no blacklisting, no Google factory reset protection, etc. You need to keep the phone in really good shape is what we're getting at here. Overall, though, this seems like a really good deal for those of you who might want a Galaxy S20 yet are worried about the ridiculous prices and whether or not they'll hold value for long. They're not going to hold value for long. Samsung is telling you that they'll at least make sure you get 50% of the original value back if you buy from them. Oh, and to sweeten the deal, Samsung says that you can participate in some promos too. For example, they'll give you everyday trade-in offers in combination with the guaranteed buyback program. I'm assuming that leaves out the extra high trade-in prices we see when phones first launch, but stacking an everyday trade-in with 50% value could be a substantial discount. That's it. So, yeah, I don't know. I feel weird about this. Not only that, but it's like, okay, you get 50% back in cash, which is wonderful, but that means you still have to give up $1,000 right now. So
up front,
yeah, right up front, give us $1,000. I mean, I guess if this was the phone that you wanted to buy, or $1,200 or $1,400, if it's the phone you wanted to buy, great. You're pretty much guaranteed your money back as long as you don't drop it and crack it or whatever. But
now in their defense, a little bit in their defense, not much. They all do something to sweeten the deal. Like, yes, I paid $1,000 for my S20, but I do have a $300 gift card that Best Buy gave me that I can use anywhere.
Well, there you go. Yeah. I didn't know it came with a gift card. That's great.
No, he traded in his
best
phone and got a gift card. Right?
Yeah, I traded in my
Oh.
phone. Got that. So I still have that $300.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. This is like, let's say you do it with the Ultra. What did it say? You get back like $750, right?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to keep the phone for 2 years. So
You don't have to
basically
keep
they're-
No, it said
years.
up to 2 years.
Yeah.
Oh, so you can
trade
trade
it
it in any time.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So yeah, well.
Oh, wait a minute.
Yesterday-
You don't have to wait the 2 years. You could
Nope.
do it
I
like a
thought you
year and
had
a
to
half.
wait.
Yep.
I
You
thought
can do
you
it
had
whenever
to
you
wait.
want.
Article, no.
Oh, wow.
Mhm.
So
Mike's about
Mike's
to
going to
go
run
on.
out and buy an S20 now.
it's not that. I mean, if you think about it, it's like they're desperate. It's not. That's a decent.
That is. Okay.
decent
I didn't.
deal then,
I took it.
because
I
you're
heard 2
getting-
years, so that's why I stuck with. Okay.
You're getting cash back. you're
Yeah,
not gonna. You
the
most
story's
likely
already
on
saying that
Swapper, you're
they
gonna
have a
lose.
hard time selling the phone, but
You're gonna lose that in
yeah,
in like 2 weeks. You're gonna lose about $300-400 on Swapper after the phone comes out.
Mhm.
So this deal ain't that. I mean, it ain't that bad if you, like you
I mean-
said, if you wanted to pay that up front.
And I'm guessing they're hoping that you're just going to trade it in to get their
The
next
next phone.
Galaxy, whatever it is.
they're hoping you count on it.
Mhm.
But let's say, all right, I don't remember what it was, but let's say the S10, weren't they giving $650 for like the regular S10?
Wow. I have
So
no
that's
idea.
more than half.
Wow. Imagine if Google made this program. That would be awesome. I
Google-
would be spending so
Let's
much
not
money
talk
on
about Google's
pixels.
trading. Google is like, yeah, you have a Pixel 3 XL and they give you like $250.
They give
Yeah.
you
Ridiculous.
Yeah, they do go.
Google's trading value is terrible.
yeah, they give you like a box of candy for
Yeah.
Well, I
For
think
real, I remember-
Samsung does just about better than just about anybody.
They
for
do.
trading value. Yeah.
Yeah. I think they are they're probably, I mean, obviously their prices are so high on their phones, but maybe
Right.
they're still taking a hit with such a huge trade in whatever incentives they give.
Right.
Do you think this is really a measure of desperation from
I
them?
think
I
so.
think it is.
I really
it
think
is.
so.
I think
that is-
they've never done this before, and I think because the phone is so expensive, so they want you to be like, well, I am going to get half of it back. It's like a way that you can rationalize it in your head. Like, yeah, I'm going to give them $1,500. They're going to give me back $750.
Mhm.
For a moment, real quick, other than us talking about it, have you seen any advertisements on TV
For this?
or for this?
No.
I don't
No.
watch TV.
Right. Well, I understand that.
Yeah.
Well, when you're sitting on the couch and your wife is watching
No,
Grey's
I-
Anatomy, okay, you can't ignore this stuff. You know.
So let me ask you guys this for you guys who do or who is watching TV. What do you see any commercials for any new phones today, or is it just the
Samsung.
iPhone? Samsung?
No.
Oh yeah,
Samsung.
that's
I
right.
see Samsung once in a while, and Apple always has their commercials.
Basically, I always
Right
see
now,
It's
Yeah.
not like an Apple commercial. It'll be like a Sprint commercial that's showing the
That's
iPhone
endorsing
or
the
Well,
T-Mobile.
when
Yeah.
the NBA is going on, you see an occasional Google commercial, but with no NBA. You don't see no
Yeah.
Google
Yeah.
Yeah, there's
Yeah,
like
well,
one or two Google commercials.
I see the AirPods, the one you got stuck in your. That's the newest commercial I've been seeing a lot of.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So
Yeah, see, so if you look at it that way, because yeah, like Gary said, with the Note, I think for this launch,
yeah.
they were giving $650 plus like $200 in the store. So you were
Wow.
getting more than half. It's just
maybe,
that you were
you know what? Maybe it's not desperation. Maybe they've been just desperate all the time, and they just keep giving these huge incentives because
Look
$650
at
for the
Gary
Note 10 Plus, that's
Gary's
huge.
last comment talking about how bad Google is. You know,
Google
yeah, but see,
offered the-
Jerome, that's the thing. You figure the Note 10 just came out. So if you traded in your Note 10, if you got your Note 10 in August and then you traded it in March,
Mhm.
you know what I mean? You lost like $400.
Yeah. No, that's true. That's true.
And then you're right back into the same cycle because you're going right back to Samsung again.
Yeah, you gotta have some deep pockets to be in this game. That's why I'm out of this game.
Yeah.
That's why I just read
Yeah.
tech news now.
why do you think I never
word-
buy a Note? I can't afford to spend that kind of money twice
No,
a year.
you guys are absolutely right, and I was stuck in that for a while where I just said no, I'm going to buy every phone, and then I realized didn't want to buy every phone because I'm a stock Android guy, and every time I use something that wasn't stock Android, it just made me upset. So I hate to say it, unless it's OnePlus. OnePlus is the exception there, which is pretty
They're
much
very close to stock Android. That's why.
pretty much stuck.
Mhm.
The
Yeah.
worst is when you go to Apple and new iPhone came out and they're like, "What phone do you have to trade in?" And as soon as you click on, as soon as you leave the Apple tab, it's like we don't recycle it for you. It's like,
Oh,
what?
yeah, exactly.
It's like, wow, my Note 10 is gonna get recycled. Like they're not even giving me $1.
yeah.
They have no use for it.
Oh my god.
Mm.
All right, I got the next one. So we are back to you, Will, aren't we?
Hey Will, real quick, what
Alright.
kind of time frame are we on? Because I know you have to work, so
Oh,
I don't.
we
wanna
usually
keep-
get done at 10. No, we usually get done at 10.
okay.
Yeah, but we're usually awake at 8.
Yeah, here we are. I got to be to work at 11.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Just don't put pressure on yourself.
11:07.
Yeah, no pressure, man.
I get there when I get there. They know I'm coming.
Yeah, really. They don't want to piss him off or anybody else, because they need all the help they can get right now.
That's true. You used to think you
George.
could avoid pressure. Okay.
George,
Yeah.
I think you shared the wrong screen,
Oh, okay.
Well, it's turned off now. There's nothing
the
now.
wrong tab.
Oh, I see. I got you. Wait a minute. Stop screen. Okay. Let me share screen again. You're right. I want the one this one, right?
Amazon.
Okay.
Ooh, I haven't seen this article. Okay.
There you go. We got one that Jerome hasn't seen.
I know. This is my life
for
now,
real.
guys.
Okay.
All right, this one's from 9 to 5 Google. Amazon is readying a Google Stadia competitor with Project Tempo. In the light of Google Stadia and Microsoft xCloud, Amazon's entry into the game streaming field as a large cloud provider is not surprising. A new report details Amazon's gaming interest with the competitors of Stadia and original content. New York Times this morning confirmed briefly detailed Amazon's cloud gaming ambition. However, first up is the original content that's expected to launch next month. Crucible is described as an ambitious science fiction shooter that's team-based and akin to League of Legends and I don't know what the game is. DOTA, Dota. You know what that is, Jerome?
What's that? I'm sorry.
DOTA 2.
Dota 2. I don't really play video games anymore. So no, I mean I've heard of it.
Oh, I never even heard of it.
I never
With
heard.
strategic elements, it has been redesigned since development started in 2014 to focus on competitive online play and live streaming on Twitch. The game is developed by Amazon's Relentless Studios in Seattle. Crucible is a first-person, last one standing game of trust and betrayal. Each match pits human and alien competitors with unique weapons and abilities against one another on a lush alien world. Players make and break alliances on the fly. In Crucible, it takes a mix of combat, skill, strategic planning, and social finesse to survive. May will also see the launch of massively multiplayer online game New World that showcases Amazon's Lumberyard game engine. That setting is an alternate 17th century with fantasy elements. This project is from a second game studio in Santa Monica, while Amazon also has a third division in San Diego. Those two titles will be available on conventional platforms, with the long-term vision being cloud gaming. Project Tempo fits the mold of Stadia, xCloud, and NVIDIA GeForce with no downloads and bringing games to low-end hardware. Amazon is well positioned as the top cloud provider to leverage AWS infrastructure for streaming. An early version was expected this year, but the coronavirus could mean Tempo following similar delays to Crucible. Amazon's in-house studio competitors are further along than Stadia Games and Entertainment. In the short term, Google is focusing on second and third-party games while it ramps up its own internal teams and technology.
So isn't it interesting that they're saying Amazon's in-house studio is further
ahead? Yeah.
Yeah. So, but they're absolutely right, because Amazon Web Services is by far the biggest in the world, so they're probably in good shape there.
I don't know.
They're just gonna come along and beat Google.
I mean,
And the Google, we're done. Okay, sorry, you put all those money in it.
We're gonna be like, all that money you spent, we're just canceling it.
I mean,
Stadia.
the question is how. I mean, will Amazon support this better than Google supported Stadia? Probably yes, right? I mean, I don't know. I don't know Amazon's track record for stuff, but you know,
it's nothing like their phone track record.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, I see Gary saying Dumb Plus is not pure Android, which he's right. It's not pure Android, and I agree with you.
It's better though. Gary, it's better. There's some things that are different.
It's as close to stock as you'll get.
Exactly.
But yeah, I agree with you. You're technically yes, you're correct.
Jerome, who's the deal? What was it? Three something or 6T on
Yeah, $300 for a 6T on Woot
Gary,
right
go
now.
go get the 6T and don't mind the fingerprint sensor.
Oh
'cause it's
God, no!
bad.
Just get him. Just no, Gary. Get the 6. Maybe he could find a better
Get the
deal on the
6.
6.
There you go. Gary,
Not the
go
Yeah.
get a
6T.
OnePlus 6 and use it
On
for 2
Swapper.
weeks. Put the Pixel down and tell me that the OnePlus software is
Gary's
better.
not gonna get it.
Gary
The
can't
camera-
put the Pixel
the camera-
down, stitched to his hand. Come on now.
Gary, the camera isn't as good, but the software destroys Google.
Mhm.
It's so much
Agreed.
better. It's so fast. Like it's crazy. I don't know, Gary. I can't believe you tried Samsung, but you won't try a OnePlus.
Oh, he tried a Samsung. I'm surprised
Yeah.
to hear that.
Yeah, he tried a
Did he
Samsung
do that?
Note.
What Samsung
Yeah.
did he have?
I think he had like a Note 10, maybe Note 9.
Man, Gary's
And
been
you know
hiding.
what probably happened? His hand fell off. He probably had to get it reattached.
He had to get the Pixel reattached to his hand.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
there's Gary. I'm telling you, especially the OnePlus 6.
Well, Gary said I might have to try it out. Gary, get
You
get
gotta-
You
a
know,
OnePlus
Gary,
out of all of them. Get the OnePlus 6. Get the that's what I would recommend. Don't get the 6T.
I would recommend the OnePlus 7 Pro.
Well, I mean, a OnePlus 7 Pro, yes, but how much is that going to cost?
Yeah,
I
it's
mean,
gonna cost you more.
I think a OnePlus 6, you could probably get it for $300. I'm guessing.
Well, I'm looking at on Swapper right now. The
Mike's
Lowe's
about to buy one for Gary.
Yeah,
Like, Gary, what's your address?
they got a 64 gig 6 gig for $250.
Wow.
And then you jump up to 128. You jump up to 128, it goes to 265.
That's
Gary,
a great deal.
OnePlus can have 6 gigs in their phone, and it can be 2 years old, and it's still gonna be faster than Pixel 4.
Gary, I'm using a 6 right now as a work phone.
He had a Note 10 Plus.
I mean, the camera isn't the best, but
The camera is not
Other-
a Pixel.
yeah.
Software is
Just destroys it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the actual user experience on it is really good. So
But I do agree with Gary that if Amazon wanted to go into the provider business, they would be freaking awesome, is my guess.
Yeah, that
Gary,
would be yeah, fourth major U.S. carrier. That would have been.
I'm not really working on it, so we can really have something other than iOS and Android. Yeah, that's what Mike's been saying for I think, like 2 years now.
What's that?
You want another option besides iOS and Android.
Oh yeah,
That's true. That's true.
I still feel
Yeah,
they
but I
should
wasn't talking platform. I was talking provider.
be like a phone carrier too.
well, we need a lot of other companies
Things,
because
yeah.
there's no competition, and you know when these big. Okay, I'm gonna stop. When these big corporations get together, just the power is just too much. I know. I'll stop. It's
You know what you're good at, Jerome?
What?
You're good at giving yourself the prod.
I just big companies upset me. They really do, especially with the abuse of power. I'm not all companies are like that, obviously. Okay, let's move on because I'm just gonna sit here and complain.
Okay,
So
I don't want to get you stewing in yourself.
no, yeah.
All right, I've got the next one up. I think I've got the right one shared. This one's for me, isn't it? Okay, this is on 9 to 5 Mac. Apple anticipates U.S. retail store closures to last until at least early May. Jerome did a stream on this today.
Well, thank you for listening to my stream. I
I gotta
appreciate
give
that.
you a look. As the coronavirus pandemic continues to worsen, Apple has made the decision to keep all of its retail stores in the United States closed until at least May. In a message obtained by 9 to 5 Mac, Apple's SVP of retail, this one threw me off. Senior Vice President of Retail Plus People. So does she own people? I don't get that.
I don't know.
It's a weird title. Anyway, Deidre O'Brien reassured store employees that Apple will continue to support them during this difficult time.
They're all fake titles anyway.
I agree. After closing every location outside of Greater China abruptly on March 13th, Apple stores were originally scheduled to reopen after March 27th. The temporary closures were later made indefinite. In addition to daily condition monitoring for every Apple facility, O'Brien notes that flexible work arrangements will remain in place. Frequent updates to store teams have provided regular guidance to cut through uncertainty. This includes the option to work remotely as an AppleCare at-home advisor if an employee wishes. Anybody want me to read this whole memo?
No, not at all.
I think we can talk about it. But yeah,
That's the memo that went out to the employees. A memo published last week by O'Brien suggested that some Apple stores could begin reopening in mid-April as local conditions allowed. In each case, an abundance of caution will be exercised to ensure the safety of employees and customers. When stores reopen, social distancing policies will likely resemble those trialed in China, where all of Apple's locations have reopened. Follow our retail guide for in-depth coverage. Anyway, and I think it was important to point out that Apple had closed all its China stores, but as soon as the virus started lessening there, they reopened them. It just seems that the virus started going down in China much quicker than here.
that's because they. I think that's two pronged, and I'll tell you why. One, I think it's because China will lock people down. Like they will make sure
when they lock you down, you're locked down.
You're locked in. But two, this is conspiratorial thinking here, but I really don't know if they are properly reporting the numbers. That curve has been flat. I mean, if you look at the last 2 weeks or so, there's been maybe 100 cases or so tops. And that just doesn't sound right. But
for a country with 6 billion people. Yeah.
Well, did you not see there was an article that showed a bunch of, I forget, it was thousands of urns that showed up at funeral homes or whatever, like just with ashes in them that came from there was also an article that said there were 21 million less people using the cell towers. Why are 21 million less people
what happened to those 21 million people? They just threw their phones away, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of again, I'm not saying that this is what's happening. It's just, it sounds a little fishy.
Well, I don't think you're being conspiratorial, because there've been a lot of stories about misreporting the cases, and most of the stories have saying it's China that's done the most misreporting.
Well, they also said that if you did test positive and you didn't show symptoms, they didn't count it. They did not count it as a case.
Well, there's misreporting right there.
Playing around.
Yeah.
Look at the chat, Mike. You got them started now. You put that link in there. Big House is about to go buy that phone out from under Gary.
No, get it from
There
Gary.
you go.
So I want to hear Gary not call OnePlus dumb plus anymore.
Yeah.
39 gigs of RAM.
39 gigs of
So
RAM.
now it's Big House and Gary getting off to the. Let's get
Wait,
ready to rumble.
Look at that.
You guys are on the clock to get that phone. Come on, let's go.
Mike should get a commission off of that sale.
Yeah.
The OnePlus 6, that one doesn't have wide angle, right?
No, I don't think it does. But it has a fingerprint
Gary,
reader in the back,
Gary,
and it works really well.
You'll be right at home, because the Pixel 4 was made like 2 years later. It still don't have wide angle.
Yeah, well, that's true. It may not have next.
It's the same.
So I know we kind of strayed off of that topic of Apple stores opening until May.
But it's like you said, people are gonna that number is probably is higher. Just like here, everybody's thinking that they're gonna go outside when it's over, and as soon as they do, it's gonna spike right back up.
And it's gonna be a second wave. That's how I feel.
It's gonna start all over again. Yeah.
Part of me also feels like we're trying to push it until the end of April, which is great. And if people here's the thing, people are going to get cabin fever. They're going to get stir crazy, and they're going to go out, especially with the weather. The weather was great here in Chicago today. People are going to go out, and I don't know how much you can control that. I really don't.
Here where I am close to Miami, we're going out. I'm going out but nobody is getting near anybody. That's the smart part of it.
But in a city like Chicago,
people are out.
Think of like New York City. Everybody's just, they live on top of each other.
And you're right, and I don't go down to Miami at all. So
it's it might be a little different down there too. I just hopefully I don't know. I'm just trying not to.
People are out though, because like I don't even understand Target and Walmart. They never even acted like nothing was going on. They didn't do no kind of limit how many people were coming in the
Anybody
store.
can
It's
go
just
in.
like,
You can go in there.
it's like whatever.
Walgreens,
Not-
CVS.
Yeah, we were at Whole Foods and Walmart the other day, and neither of them were limiting anybody coming in.
Yeah.
You know.
I know
I know
Sam's
that's
around
small.
here was limiting people, but everywhere
I
else
know
it's like
smaller
nothing happened.
stores around here are doing that because I went to U-Haul about a week and a half ago, and he was only letting 5 people in the store at one time. So that was smart.
Yeah.
But yeah, at Walmart and at Whole Foods, people are kind of, but nobody's getting very close to each other, which is kind of smart.
I
But
don't know.
it doesn't seem
It's
to be
like-
a number of people. You know.
It's like Jerome said, people need to just stay in the house. If you don't got to go out, then don't go out.
I mean, especially at the time when there's no cure yet. There's no cure, and like,
oh yeah, it's gonna be months. They don't
But it-
really.
but
I don't
once-
think they have nothing. There's nothing like
But
you
yeah,
get
no,
it.
there isn't.
They just
But once again, it's still people who have some kind of underlying medical issues because my cousin told me the other day he had it passed it. He had a mild case. He's the same age as I am.
mhm.
He passed it to his wife. He got over it. His wife got over it. By the time she got her results, she was already recovering. But neither one of them have any health issues.
Ugh,
I don't know. It's
Yeah.
just
it's scary. The whole thing is
It's a-
just yeah.
it's crazy. A
All
lot
right,
of
you
people
guys.
dying.
1 + 6, but this is why I love the 1 + 7. Okay, let me get in front of that camera. See, that's why I
Gary,
love my 1
come on,
+ 7.
Gary.
That
Oh,
camera.
the
Gary.
That makes
Gary,
me
you know what
jealous.
you
I
should
really
do?
want one because it
I
has. that.
love that camera.
Yeah,
Gary, what you should do is
I was done with phones.
don't buy
I
the
was-
Pixel. Don't buy the Pixel this year because it's not even going to be a flagship processor in it. Go get the 1 + 7 or get
Well,
that.
we don't know
1
that
+
for
6.
sure yet. We don't know that for sure.
Nah, we do. It's coming
Yeah,
at,
but at the
7,
same time,
whatever.
even if it's
We
not
know.
going to be a
And
flagship
it's ugly.
processor, I
That
still
thing is-
think it'll be a good phone.
It's ugly though. The back of it is
But
terrible.
you say that every year, then you
Nah,
go buy
this one, George. This one is. This
And I
one is
get a
really
burger out of
ugly.
it.
This one is really. Nah, listen, Mike. We were in the thing when y'all be asleep. I be at work and we be in the Telegram chat, and we were just talking about phones last night. And I'm like, y'all are gonna make me lose the bet to Mike. You know?
and that's how I
we
was
started
too.
talking about OnePlus.
I was
I'm like,
Mike, you
oh,
missed
man.
it. I was sending them pictures of my old phones. Like that's what we were talking about. I don't know why. I just
What's
Yeah,
funny
yeah,
for me is I'm going through Telegram today, and I see that Jerome finally went to bed.
Yeah. You guys, I did catch that. I did wake up.
Oh,
I'm
man.
like, oh, holy cow, you guys were up late. You
Yeah,
yakking.
you guys do
yeah,
not
we
sleep much.
have been. I need to get my sleep schedule on point. This is why Will is oversleeping here because
Yeah,
he's
for
just
real.
Yeah.
I don't
Well,
know.
he's coming home and
man.
trying to do school
I-
online
you
at
know,
the same
but I-
time.
I mean, I was like, if your wife didn't answer me on Facebook, man, I would have been out the door, already in the car, going boom, 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 boom.
I was worried, man. I'm glad. I'm
Yeah,
glad you
I'm
were
a
just
worrier too.
sleeping.
I would have been in the car already, but that's just me. I do tend to worry about
there's
friends.
something
and people
about it.
as well.
Yeah, I don't know. It just was like, it was just this close. Hey, Facebook Messenger to the rescue! Yay for
There
one.
you go. There you go. Adam would slap you, you know that,
Yeah,
right?
I know. But he'll understand. He'll understand. So
Can
Alright.
I know we have these other 2 stories that are kind of maybe I don't know if you want to talk about it or not, but I actually wanted to kind of weigh in and get your thoughts, guys, on this new Apple stuff. Do you guys know much about what's going on with it or
In the iPhone?
iPhone, yeah.
Mhm. Yeah. So it looks like from the reports it's going to be called an iPhone SE. It's going to be
Oh, I thought it was going to be called 9. Okay.
no,
It looks like it's
iPhone-
going to be the SE.
Yeah, it looks like it's gonna be called the iPhone SE. It's gonna be the outside, the exterior is gonna be an iPhone 8 with the guts of the iPhone 11, the A13 Bionic chip. But they don't know what camera yet, but $400. And it's gonna come in 64 gigs, but also 128 and 256. And it's gonna have they're gonna have the red one.
He said it's
I know
gonna be red.
I want the
Yeah.
red one, but
That's like Mike.
I-
So you'll be all ready? Is that it?
Yeah.
buy one. But does that guy does that excite you at all? Do you think at $400
That thing, that is gonna just
Mike's
like
got his
everybody
hands
was
up.
waiting
Mike's ready to
today to
talk.
see.
Mhm.
Everybody was waiting to see if it was gonna launch today.
It
I-
was
and
either
it wasn't.
Ryan
Yeah, I thought it
I'm-
was too.
I mean, I'm not
Ryan or
shocked.
Stephen
but-
England that talked me out of it because I have the iPhone 11 and he
Yeah,
said,
George, just don't make
buying
sense
a
for
lesser
you to me.
phone.
But
Mhm.
I just
So
don't
that's when I
get.
said, all right, Pixel.
I mean, I understand why Apple's doing it, but like they're just gonna step all over OnePlus if they do it. If they
And that-
do their
like they did
event or
last year.
whatever,
That
yeah,
would be savage if they did it on the day of the.
Because
I think I
Last
think
year,
they're gonna.
yeah, that would be a hoot. That would be a
I kind of want Apple to do it.
But last year,
It's funny.
Jerome, last year, didn't they make OnePlus move? Didn't OnePlus
it was,
move?
I
so
think it was
OnePlus-
the year before.
Yeah,
wasn't
it was, I don't know the exact date, but OnePlus
they moved
did
their event.
OnePlus
Yeah.
did move their event. And
And
my
if I
question
was
is,
them this year, I would not budge.
yeah, so that's how I felt
Yeah.
too. I said maybe OnePlus just needs to stand their ground, and then,
Exactly.
but I mean, what does Apple care? Apple doesn't care. So
No.
if they still
No.
launch it that day, what's Apple going to do? But again, let's get back to it. Would you buy this phone at $400? Let's say
If
you're
I didn't have
shopping
an
for a phone.
iPhone,
Let's say
if
you
I
have
didn't
no
have an
phone
iPhone,
right
I
now.
have one. I
Yeah,
have
oh,
one.
yeah.
would buy it.
yeah,
Let's say
Yeah,
you
I
had no
would.
phone right now and $400 or whatever. Let's say $500 was your limit. Let's say this phone came out at $400. Would you buy that, or would you get something else just because you
I'm
don't want to?
almost
Why wouldn't
I'm
you
almost
not
certain
get it?
Mike's going to buy it.
Well, what about the Pixel 4a? Would you get that
Oh,
over
no,
the Pixel?
no.
Well, that's the
Yeah.
biggest thing. That's going to be the biggest thing, though, too. When you talk to people about, you don't come too often to people who are going to say, it doesn't matter what operating system. I'm adding the operating system. It doesn't matter to me. Most people are, I only want Android or I only want Apple, which
Mhm.
a large bulk of people are Apple only.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I know a lot of people like that.
So they don't want to hear it. But when they hear it, it's an Apple for $400, brand new.
Yeah.
They're going to say,
Why Apple's going to sell a load of them like they did
We were-
before.
I seen somebody on Twitter was like, "Why is everybody so excited?" And I'm like, "How do you not understand?" If Apple releases a phone for even if it's $450, people are gonna go crazy because I think the 8 now is $450, so they're gonna get rid of the 8 and put this one there. People are gonna love it
They're going to
because
have the
they're
SE
gonna.
4 gig at $400, and then the 128 gig will probably be $50 more, and then the 256 gig will probably be. They'll sell a ton of them.
They're gonna-
So
They're
here's the thing though, and this is what I was saying on my video about it. If this iPhone SE, it's gonna have the A13 chip, so you're gonna have
Right.
great
So they're
performance
way
because.
ahead of the game, yeah.
But I'm telling you, if they use the camera from the iPhone 11 at $400, you're going to have the best camera and the best
Yes, you
performance.
are. Yes,
Yeah.
you
Please
are.
you can't tell me that the Pixel 4a is going to have better performance when it's going to have a Snapdragon 700 processor. I mean, I just don't think it can compete at that point if they
I
use the
think it
iPhone 11
can.
camera.
You know what, Jerome? It don't even matter because the problem, like Gary said, he would buy a Pixel 4a, but the
And so
difference
would
is
I.
you can't get into the Apple ecosystem this cheap before.
Mm.
Like
Right.
two,
And that's
3
the
years ago, Apple
Good point.
iPhone was $600-700. So anybody who was like, I want an iPhone, but it's too expensive, now you'll be able to get it for $400.
They have-
Exactly.
they
and
have-
and you've got the processor
You're gonna
and the
get-
camera.
You're gonna get updates. You're gonna get
Yeah.
iMessage and all, the stuff that lock people into.
You're going to have a
into-
lot more.
That's what Will
You're going to have a lot more
try.
blue bubbles. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, yeah, like that's what locks people in. So
Yeah.
that
Hey, Will.
price and all that is crazy.
I'll be very surprised if 2 months from now Mike isn't holding the Apple and I'm not holding.
Yeah,
the
he's
4.
Mike's getting the red one. Mike's getting the red.
Yeah.
Mike's gonna get the red
If we got
iPhone.
any red, yeah, I'm there.
You know,
Mike,
I'm
Mike
getting
already
the
knows
red.
he's gonna get it. Wait. So would you guys get this even if it has the? So let's say it doesn't have the iPhone 11 camera, and let's say the camera in it is the iPhone 8 camera. Would you still get it at 400? Because I wouldn't personally. I would
wouldn't
not.
either.
You know what?
wouldn't
I don't.
Mike,
think,
what about
I don't
you?
think it's gonna.
Now, keep in mind,
Mike's
Mike, you've
thinking
got the
about
new chip, but you've got the old camera. What
Yeah,
would you
you'd
do?
have the new chip but old camera. Will I know what
I
Will's
don't
gonna
think
say?
it's gonna. I don't think it's gonna have the 8
No,
camera because
no, I
they're
don't
putting
think-
the
no.
new. They're putting
Maybe-
the new chip in it. I
maybe
think
have
the
the
worst
camera
the
they have
worst
in the
camera
X-Bar.
the worst camera that they'll put in it, I think, will be the 10.
You think so?
I think they're
I
going to
don't-
put the 11
because of that chip. They're putting that 813 in there so you can use all those features, the AR and
Mhm.
the arcade. they're trying to make sure that you get tied into it. They want you to get their
And how
service.
much
It-
monetary
they
difference
might
is
not
it
give
for them
you-
to take over the
they
10
won't-
or the 11?
They won't give you the wide angle, but they're gonna give you the. I think they're gonna give you a good camera.
I think they're going
I
to give you the 11.
And then you gotta, they're not gonna want it to be fragmented either. So I think they're gonna give you, because when the update drops in September, they want everybody to have whatever feature.
Well,
You know what I mean?
And we can take a moment and compare. Let's go in the history books when they did roll out the SE. The SE was the form factor that they were covering.
Yeah, everybody wanted it.
Didn't have the at the time the camera that came with that
The SE
generation.
had the newer. It had the
It
newer
had-
camera, I think.
Yeah,
They
that's
did have the
that's
newer
what I
chip.
think.
They had the A9 in it. I don't know what the camera was.
And I think it had the 6S camera
It
in
had
it.
the latest camera, yeah.
It had the
So
6S
I think they'll
camera?
do the same thing again.
Hold on.
I'm
No,
He's
99%
gotta look it
sure.
up. He's got to look it up.
He's getting
Yeah, see,
juiced
Apple-
up.
Like,
Look at him.
like
He's
Brian,
gonna-
No, because I'd be really
You'd
excited
be
if it
trading
came
that
with that
11
camera.
Pro in a heartbeat, wouldn't you?
Wait, say that again. What?
Would you trade in the 11 Pro?
I don't know.
No.
I don't know if I
no,
traded the 11
don't
Pro.
trade in your 11 Pro. But
No, I
this
know
is
that.
like-
I'm
this is
just
for people like Mike. Mike was like, I don't know if
And
I
I'm
would
like Jerome. I
Face
won't trade in my
or-
11 unless I trade in on a 12.
mhm.
or whatever. This is so smart from Apple because you're going
It
to keep the fingerprint sensor alive, so everybody has an option. Like if you don't
Touch
want Face
ID?
ID, you still get
What
the
do you call that?
fingerprint sensor.
Yeah.
Touch
Touch
ID.
ID, yeah, you
Yeah.
still get
It's-
Touch ID.
It says
Yeah.
here it features a 12 megapixel rear facing camera with the ability to record 4K at 30 frames per second, but it doesn't say what kind of camera. Let me see if I can just Google what kind of camera it
just-
had.
Just do both cameras side by side. Yeah.
They're
Oh, yeah,
probably,
I could
they're gonna give it. They're gonna. I don't know. I know Jerome was saying earlier that it's gonna eat up the sales of the 11, but they don't care because they still have the
Yeah, I
XR
mean, it's-
and
and
they
plus
still
it's
have
still-
the 8 in the
Hey,
store.
Actually,
Yeah,
can you
that's-
guys do me a favor? And I don't know much about the XR. Can you explain what the point of the XR is?
The
What is
XR was cheap. The XR was the cheaper version that came out with the 10.
version of the 10. That's all.
so but there's no current XR for the 11, right?
Yeah, the 11.
No,
The
the
11
11 is the XR.
Yeah.
Oh, the 11.
The
is the
XR was the cheap.
And so the
I had
11 right now
I
is
had the
700
10R and I
bucks,
went to the 11, so I went from their low one to their low one.
Okay, that makes sense. So right now the iPhone 11 is the XR, and that's the one that's going for 700 bucks.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, $400.
And that's the one with all the colors. The XR has like blue, green,
Yellow.
and then the same thing with the 11. The 11 has a lot of colors. And with the 11, they even gave you the wide angle camera. That's why I'm like,
That's true.
it's so backwards that Apple is undercutting Samsung so far. It's crazy.
they want to take this market. I mean, the phone's not out yet, but they want to take they want everybody to say, well, why would I spend 400 on this
Yeah,
phone
when I can get an iPhone.
when I can
Yeah,
get this
and then-
iPhone that has the processor of, maybe I'm the only one who thinks that way with the new
The
processor.
newer
kind of stuff,
processor, yeah.
but you're gonna get, I don't know. I'm big on performance, right? That's important to me. So
And in this market, they're not only going after Samsung, they're going after Xiaomi.
they're going after
OnePlus,
everybody.
They're going after Huawei.
Because
Now,
they're going to
Jerome,
wind up making this
you're
phone
not-
in India. Hey, George, you're going to make this phone in India, and
Yeah.
that's the market that's
And
not.
guess what?
Yeah,
And
and
what's
actually,
the
that's funny.
second
On my
biggest phone market,
Yeah,
India.
on my live stream today, somebody from India was in there and had all the questions about the iPhone, and he was really wondering how much, when is it coming
Yeah.
out, what is it going to have. So yeah,
And
you're right.
who's the number one maker in India right now? Xiaomi.
The
Right.
screen on the XR. So Jerome, you won't mind if the screen is like an XR screen?
Yeah,
Because
not-
I'm sure they're gonna cut the screen.
Yeah,
The screen is gonna be-
the screen on the 10R was fine for me, and the screen on the 11 is fine.
But the 10R had crazy battery. Like they're saying that this new iPhone is gonna have a bigger battery. You won't get the touch what's it called? The Force Touch. So that's gonna give them more space to put a bigger battery.
Yeah,
The screen will probably be lower quality. The battery life is probably gonna be crazy.
Yeah, so it looks like the camera from the SE is the same as the 6S.
Yeah,
right?
that's
It was-
what,
yeah,
So I think they're going to put the 11 camera in there.
exciting. At $400, that phone is going to be the.
Next thing you know, Jerome's going to have one too.
No, I don't.
Jerome, I don't know why Jerome would get it, but he is gonna get it. He
No,
wants
I'm not.
it.
I don't
He
have the
wants
money.
it.
I don't have the money to get it. I shouldn't be spending.
You don't need to get it, but everybody else needs to get it.
Yeah.
Well, they don't need to, but this is their way to get
But I
into.
will get the 4A.
This is their way to get into iOS. That's why it's such big news that Apple's pricing the phone is
Apple's going to bring them in.
$400. That's super cheap. That's super
Yeah.
cheap.
Yeah, that's
So Will,
if, it
let
has,
me
if it has that chip.
you just said about people getting into the ecosystem. Will we
Right.
see less of the MVNOs having those cheap deals like the 6S came in just recently at like Cricket? You can get in
no. I think they'll still have it, but people aren't going to buy them because with this phone coming out, you figure the 8's probably got another maybe 2 years of updates. You know, because I think the 6S falls off maybe this year or
Yeah.
with this last update. So people won't buy them soon. Like the what's her name? The one who works at the Cricket store on Twitter.
Lady
She
Red
was
was
saying that it's
Lady
it's
Red,
losing.
She was
Yeah,
here
like
too.
they might not get the latest updates now. She was wondering why people buy them. But people, if you don't got no money, I guess you'll get it. But
And tell you, Will, the regular size, not the plus size, is $449 for the iPhone 8 right now out
yeah,
of
the 8.
Apple.com.
So actually, what I talked about this too. So I think what's going to happen, or at least for them to move the iPhone 8. So let's say the iPhone SE comes out and they price the iPhone SE at $399.
Right.
They're going to have to move the price of that iPhone 8. I'm thinking to $299.
I
mean,
can't.
I think they're just gonna pull it. I think
Yeah,
they're just gonna pull it.
You
They're gonna pull it
I
off.
think it's going to be the same.
It's
same
gonna
pack.
disappear. It's just
don't
not
think
gonna be on the site.
Well, I think they'll just pull it off. They
What's
won't
that?
have any reason to leave it out there.
I mean, so what are they going to do with all this extra stock of iPhone 8s? They're not going
They're
to
gonna
sell.
use them.
They're gonna
They're
be
gonna
at-
use them for people. They're gonna use them for
Gonna be
people
at-
who come in with broken phones. They'll probably trade them. You know,
And
you know,
they'll
Apple's not
they'll-
wasting no inventory. They're not.
and they'll,
They're not gonna
and they'll
waste no
do their
inventory.
usual PR thing. They'll probably give them to people in homes and
Yeah,
cheap,
yeah.
people that need phones. You know,
Mhm.
Huh.
so that would make sense.
Interesting. Okay. Well, that's I didn't think
Jerome,
about
you
that.
see that?
Yeah, Jerome, that's a good. That's yeah.
What? Oh,
sh-
Jerome, you should start reviewing some of these phone plans because people out here are getting bad plans. I-
Especially now with T-Mobile and Sprint merged.
Yeah, and so this is weird for me to talk about because not weird, but I've had the same T-Mobile plan for I think over a decade. I have unlimited talk and text, and I think I have 10 gigs of data with rollover. And at one point for like a year and a half, I had unlimited data from T-Mobile. And after taxes, I paid $21.24. I've been grandfathered in for so long that like there's no point. I mean, I'd love to test other plans, but I don't know.
You're
Plus,
making my Visible look expensive.
Yeah,
Well, that's
and
the
so
thing
many
with-
other guys do exactly that, but I don't do it for the same reason. I have T-Mobile on 4 phones, and I don't want to spend any more money on any more plans.
I don't mind taking a look at other plans, but really all these other plans are just subsets of the big carriers. These MVNOs, they're all using. So it's whether or not what the best reception. I mean, maybe I guess the only difference here is what the prices come out at, how much data they give you. Yeah, that's definitely a good thing to look at, but it also depends on the reception of where you're at. I know I live in an urban city, so T-Mobile's fine for me, but try to use T-Mobile in the middle of BFE,
Illinois.
yeah, or in the middle of Illinois. And
Yeah,
actually,
my guess is a year from that's going to change because they have all that spectrum now,
well, we'll see. Oh, that's
and
true
they're
too.
covered just about everywhere.
Well, funny story. When I used to work in IT, and I used to travel a lot, and there was one time we lost somebody. We lost an IT technician that was in rural or just in the country in Illinois, and I had to go cover his area for like 6 months. And I remember driving to a business to fix something, and after I left, I got lost. I was like in cornfields and I had no reception on T-Mobile at all.
Yeah.
And I was scared because like I've lived in the city forever. I'm used to just being around people and things all day. And I literally had to just step outside until a car passed by and like take the car down and ask how to get out of these cornfields.
Will, I mean, Jerome's out there. The children of the corn are going to get.
I was
Exactly.
definitely scared. It's
But
not.
that's
That's
just
not
how
where.
people are. Now, people from the country, they get all scared when they get to the city and get all these people around them.
Yeah.
It's where you're from,
Very true.
Because I grew up less than a mile from Manhattan, and I spent half my working life in Manhattan. So I'm, like Jerome, probably more comfortable in the city, but I won't live in the city anymore because I got tired of big cities.
Yeah, I hear you. I see big.
But I'm a
saying,
suburb guy. I like living in a suburb of a big city so I can get there whenever I want to.
That's a lot of people. I feel. I see Big House saying here. I tried Mint Mobile in my area, like 4 down and 1.5 up. Oh my god!
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Wow. Yeah. So Mint Mobile is T-Mobile. So maybe you need to try like Visible, right? If Visible is
Yeah,
Verizon,
maybe Visible would be better.
maybe
That's true.
it's better there. So I don't know.
Maybe Visible is visible in your area.
Mike, he said, "What would you?" Brian said, "What would you pay for an 8?" See, Mike had the 8.
Yeah, and I liked it. I was willing to keep it until somebody waved $300 in front of me. I said, out of here.
He's so easily swayed.
I was. I said, okay. I went to
why
T-Mobile. I went to T-Mobile, paid off my got the jump.
You
got
made
off
a couple dollars.
Yeah, and so I paid $219, and somebody said I need a phone, and I said $300. He said, okay. I like it.
Mike, this is a perfect transition for you because you have your Apple Watch, you don't have an iPhone.
Yeah. Mike is waiting for the red one
now.
But I've been waiting for this SE9, whatever. I really have. I mean, I'm not going to lie to you. I've been wanting to go back to having an iOS phone. I do like the ability to message everybody. That was crazy on my iPad.
I just had the sickest thought run through my head. I'm seeing Mike sitting in front of his camera on YouTube saying, with the phone in his hands, I've been waiting for a phone like you to come in.
I can edit that. I'll need a clip and I'll put the music in.
There you go.
Oh, wow.
Got George started.
Well,
Yeah.
oh, man. Anyway.
Your life will be complete, Mike.
Please, Mike, don't order a phone till I so.
Now, Gary, I think you're safe until this SE comes out.
Oh man.
Oh man.
Then we'll have
I'm never going to live this down. I'm never going to lose down. Will, you did a great job on that video. I have to hand
Mike,
it to you.
he said some of us want to see our kids grow up. That's
Oh, that's good. That's good, Gary. I like it. Yeah, you deserve a drum.
Oh.
Are you guys hearing the drum roll?
No.
No.
Okay, it's because I have my mic in, and once I plug in the mic, you don't hear it anymore.
I'm so happy with everyone's audio tonight. It's been good.
Glad we can make you happy, Jerome.
Without me saying, "Oh yeah, I understand."
And what have you learned, Jerome? You can bully Will and I into anything you want. There you go.
Now this
Oh,
video's
wait,
gonna get
we're just
demonetized.
demonetized. Damn it.
Exactly.
Oh man.
It looks like our time is
better than T-Mobile. And oh yeah, Verizon, not Verizon. Visible is doing it. So Visible does get the job done. So
Yeah, so Mike, you're gonna.
We don't have to do a Friday Night Tech Talk on my channel, but we should have, or I'd love to have all you guys there one time. Maybe we can do like a debate on something. I think that's fun.
Debate.
I don't know.
I don't do politics.
I'm not. No, not politics.
No.
Please, George, no.
I'm talking about phones or tech. I'm not talking about.
You can't win with Jerome.
No,
Jerome, if you're going to do something like that with phones, somehow we need to bring Gary into it.
That's fine.
Oh yeah.
And you'll have a debate on your hands.
That's fine. I think it would be fun. I just remember when I first started streaming, it was so different, and now it's just like, oh, whatever. Let me just talk. Give me my phone.
The new age of talk radio right here with Jerome.
I like
With
it.
Jerome on channel 959.
Yeah, Mike, you got the microphone for it.
Yeah, that's right. So is Jerome too. So.
Mhm.
So
We all sound good.
Yeah, we got to get Will to get a mic now, right?
I mean,
George, I looked at the price. What is that? Mike, what do you got? A Blue Yeti?
Yeah.
I was like $130 now.
You know what? You sound pretty good now. Anyway, you probably need that money when you buy whatever Android you're going to buy next.
There you go, Jerome. There you go.
Shots fired.
And plus they complained to buy Mike's Burger.
Yeah,
man.
that's the funny part. He's gonna. I'm
Wait,
gonna win,
that's-
and I'm gonna be walking in with the new iPhone. Okay, you know.
Oh, I just realized, and I can't even. I'm not gonna even. I don't even know if I'm gonna see you guys in the summer because of everything that's
Oh,
going on now.
Corona.
So,
Yeah.
Mm.
man,
The
Puts a
world
wrench-
is gonna be different forever.
the world's
Yeah.
gonna be very different. I mean, probably the next time we see each other, we're all gonna be wearing masks. So,
Honor man, you know, we'll have an Apple symbol. I have the Android. Georgia has
Actually-
Windows. Okay, Windows symbol. Okay.
no, that's actually a really good point. And I know that sounds weird, but there was an article I read that says even after this passes, people are probably gonna just start wearing masks.
Mask. It's
And
gonna
but you're gonna see people like fashion
I haven't
design.
one yet, except at the doctor's office. So, but see, my attitude is my body will fight off anything. I don't think. I think I could probably be around with somebody with it and it wouldn't
The
even touch
Corona,
I know a lot of people. who
Corona's
think
gonna see
that
George
way.
and run away.
I mean, George has
It's
like
just that
George has
my
genes that are like
resistance is so high, and I seem to be able to fight off anything that happens. You know, the only time I've had a cold in the last 10 years was the Vegas conference.
George is the real cure for coronavirus.
And I got
There's something in George that has the
We
real
gotta,
cure.
we gotta take George's blood.
We need George's antibodies. There we go.
Hey, I've been cut by knives, can open, straight razors. Nobody's taking any more blood out of me. Okay.
Knives, can openers. Dang.
Yes, I've even been cut with a can opener.
You gotta make sure you get your tetanus
This
shot.
is why George is ready to face someone in an alley.
I don't know. For instance,
Last time I got faced in an alley, I got mugged.
These are the guys I was raised with. They taught me to deal with this stuff. Okay, this is Hudson County, New Jersey, baby. You watch The Sopranos, you've seen how I was raised. It's the same thing.
There you go.
I see Telusive was on Twitter. He asked MKBHD, does the iPhone SE have night mode? He always makes fun of Marcus because he gets the phones first. So he's always going under asking him questions.
Well, yeah, he would know, wouldn't he?
Oh,
Marquez
man.
would know. Come on now.
It's crazy. That's like his thing. Every time he gets a phone, he's like, yeah, I've been trying this out for 3 weeks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Had this coronavirus cure for 3 months.
But what's the phone that he doesn't get any
man.
earlier than anybody else? It's the iPhone.
Yeah, he gets them all.
He gets invited to the event, but you never see
You
him. with
never
the
get. You
iPhone.
never get an iPhone now.
No.
That's a good point.
Hey, Don Braun.
John Brown.
Hey, listen here. Will is going to get the V6
No, not for me.
for trade for my burger. Okay.
You know what? I don't like LG's software.
And I just did a whole video on that.
Gary,
I
I'm
don't like it.
insulted.
You can't even buy that phone unlocked. You have to buy it carrier
And it's
locked.
not unlocked. Yeah, you have to
Yeah,
buy it.
it's locked to everything. Yeah.
Everything, and it has a ton of bloatware. I'm not saying that it's not a bad phone because it has a lot of positives, at least from
Yeah.
what I've read. But
I'm highly insulted, Gary.
Yo, Don, you ready for a fight? Because it's going to rumble.
I'm a Tina guy, not an Ike guy.
Oh, man.
Don, you don't know what you missed, man. Check the replay, everybody. Check the replay and give us video a thumbs up because this is one of the classics right here.
Yeah, this is
Oh,
just the way it's
Street
started.
Fighter. All right. Well,
Yeah,
Yeah.
Will, you're going to go
Yeah,
back.
looks
Go back and be late for
Go
work
back to
now?
Nah, Mike. I usually do that though. I'll
Nope.
wake up and then I'll be like, I'm just gonna lay down for 10 minutes, and I wake
Yeah.
up and it's like,
Yeah,
10,
you've done that. Yeah.
All right, so
Yeah.
everybody knows going forward, if we can't find Will, he's
I'm
just
just
somewhere
sleeping.
asleep.
Yeah,
Sleep, yeah.
I got George. George got my back, so the corona's not coming for me. Good news. Good news. George is around.
I
Yeah,
can keep it off me.
yeah.
I can keep it off you. Okay.
George,
Fine.
you get it. George is going to donate blood to you.
Yeah, there you go.
Save
George,
you.
George, your blood might have the cure for the corona.
Yeah, but who's the hero in this group? There's only one frontline guy right now in this group.
very
Okay, so we know who the hero is.
Mike is still going to work too. I can't believe it. I can't. That's crazy.
What,
to me?
me?
Yeah.
Well, forklifts need parts, man. Gotta
I
go
don't
out
know.
there
Yeah,
and go get your medical supplies.
I'm on
here.
furlough, so I'm good.
I
I
guess.
told my boss yesterday. He says, "Yes, as soon as this is over, we want every." You know what's amazing? I work with a few hundred people, and my boss told me yesterday, not one of us has got it yet.
Hmm.
And,
Wow.
and they run the gamut from 20s to 70s. There's a guy who's 90. He hasn't gotten it yet.
George, wait a minute. Are you did they shut down your enterprise where you're at?
No, but worldwide, all the part-timers are on furlough until it's
Yeah.
over.
My friend Tom, he's on furlough now too.
Yeah,
And
but
he's
we'll
a
be
full-time
back.
mechanic.
One of the guys told me in 9/11, a couple of guys have been around for 30, 40 years. They said 9/11, the same exact thing happened. Then a couple of months later, everything was back to normal.
I hope so. Fingers crossed. Fingers
Yeah.
crossed. So, all right, guys.
All
All
right.
right. Where are we at next week? I'm all confused.
It's my
with the
turn.
order.
Mike,
Okay.
it's
My
on
turn.
Mike.
All right. Next week, Mike's got it.
Maybe we'll watch. Maybe we get to watch Mike order an SE. Who knows?
Nah, George. Well, yeah, if it comes out next week. I don't know though. I think it'll be. I think it's going to be the 5th. Well,
Yeah, I
they
think
might,
it'll be
they might
right after
announce
that.
it. They might announce it next week and put it in the stores, like ship it for the
Yeah, you
15th.
never
In
know.
the stores. How you going to get in the stores, Will?
You know what I mean? Ship it out.
Oh, okay.
They'll ship it out on
You really think they're going to next week? You don't think you're going
They
to push
might.
it back until things get better?
because I've seen
Now,
people saying that.
Are the stores
There's been-
working so that you can order something online and go
Yeah,
pick
you
it up in front of the store?
you
That's
can-
how I
no,
got
you can't.
mine.
You can't pick it up. You can't pick it up. They send it to your house.
They said
But-
the 24th they were planning on shipping it out. That's
Because
the
at Best Buy, you can order it online and they'll bring it out to you at the store. You can't go in the
That's
store.
why you don't even got to get out your car anymore.
Yeah, they'll come to your car.
everyone's VIP now. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, yeah, even my place that supplies my liquor for my cigarette, I can go there and they'll come out to my car and give it to me. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, I don't know though, Mike. I mean, George, I don't think I don't know. I don't think it'll be out that fast. They might though.
Yeah, you're right. But if it's not, then we can all on my stream. Then we can all watch Mike order a phone.
Sorry.
Mike can get a year of Apple TV. You already
There you
got it for a year,
Yeah,
right?
I do. I'll get more. Maybe I'll get another year. I don't know.
There you go.
They were getting for everybody. You could have bought an iPad and you got a year.
Thanks,
Yeah,
Gary.
come September, I got to remember to cancel my Apple TV.
Me too, George. Me too.
Oh
Me
God!
too.
Thanks for reminding me. I got to do
Yeah.
that too.
Yep.
Yeah. And Gary, Jerome didn't even use his Apple Arcade. I think they gave a free month when that came out.
Yeah, I don't know. I activated my Apple TV. I used it once and I fell asleep trying to watch that whatever show, that Good Morning whatever.
But yeah, I tried to watch that, but you know me, there was too much cursing for me. But then I fell in love with the show For All Mankind, and then that ended, and I haven't watched it since.
I haven't watched TV in so long, or anything streaming. Nothing.
Jerome, that show is like, what's that guy's name, Mike? The news guy who was in all the trouble.
Oh,
Matt Lauer.
Matt
It was
Lauer.
like it took his story.
yeah,
That was
yeah.
it was
exactly what it was like. Yeah.
yeah.
I haven't seen it. You know what everyone keeps talking about that I keep reading in the news? Everyone keeps talking about this Tiger King show.
Oh.
Jerome, listen.
Everyone-
Listen.
Train wreck.
If you Jerome, if you watch it, George, don't even put it on. But Jerome, if you watch it, it's crazy. But I want you to watch it to hear what you say, because I binge watched it a couple days ago.
Well, what is it
Everybody
about?
was talking about it.
I don't know. Actually, don't
It's
tell me what-
about
let me. I just want to.
The basic premise of the show, I mean.
Okay.
it's like a documentary about people who like tigers. It's not just one guy, but it focuses mainly on one guy. But they have a bunch of people in it. But George,
they
you
all
can't
in there.
watch it.
They're all
No, I can't watch it.
right.
Mike, did you watch it?
I only caught it when Pat was watching it. I was like,
There's a very
get me outta
popular
here.
show with a bunch of people abusing animals, and everybody's watching that, I heard.
yeah.
It's such. I don't even know. It's like one of those things that you just watch it because it's so crazy to see it. It's.
All right, Jerome, I
I
guess it's
watched it and I couldn't stop watching it once I started watching it. But I was just like, this is nuts.
George, what do
So
you
now
say?
we get the test: is Jerome as sick as Will?
Will already knows there are certain things I can't see. Will said
Oh
something.
my gosh!
I deleted it because I didn't want to see it. It kept playing on
Good for
my
you.
Jerome,
That sounds like something
Jerome
I
was,
was.
No, I get very queasy with some certain stuff. So
Jerome
Yeah,
was
I
like,
do too. I do too.
I showed Jerome the test for the coronavirus.
how they take the test is what he
Yeah,
needs.
it's
could not.
something.
I could not. I
George,
now
well, I don't know. George probably never had it because he probably never went to the doctor. Mike, you never had it either?
What's that? The test?
You never got tested for the flu?
No.
Wow.
you know
Nope.
how they test you, Mike.
Mike,
What?
they
know
Yeah,
shove
I saw it. I saw it after I ate dinner. I said, I'm coming through.
Oh, man.
What you call Telegram? Looking, I'm like, what's this?
Yeah,
Click,
and I
I'm like,
deleted it because I didn't want to see it anymore.
like, oh my god!
Oh, my gosh. Yes, Gary.
I
Yes,
get
you do.
queasy with watching stuff too, so I can understand it.
There you
Jerome,
go.
you gotta watch it now.
Late, Willie, you're making yourself late for work.
Oh, I'll be all right.
Well,
Jerome,
hey,
you gotta watch it now. So you
No,
can,
no,
I want to
I'll-
know what you think. I want to
I'll-
because you see what Gary said. I want to know what you gotta watch it.
Yeah,
Just for
everybody
that.
said that. Everybody
That
said
part is.
Mm.
Oh my gosh, that's
Oh,
crazy.
I'll have to take a look. But guys,
'Cause it-
go ahead.
That's crazy. That's
No,
something that somebody could do. That's why it's crazy.
No.
She
I-
had to.
I was gonna say I need to start wrapping this up though because I need to make a call. But I didn't know if you want to end it or what do we?
Yeah, we're good. All right, everybody.
guys,
Next
everyone
week
else.
we're on Mike's channel, and
Yep.
everybody have a good night. Stay safe. Keep
Can
your
I
mask on
put a
if you
plug
gotta
in?
go out.
Quick plug.
Yeah, go ahead, Mike.
So stay in. Get up early Sunday morning, 9:00. The standard with this guy right there on this channel. Okay, 9:00.
Yeah.
All right, we're
All
going
right,
to
George.
talk about something. Maybe not sticking things up our noses. How's that?
All right, good night, all. You know me, Mobile Geezer. I'll be putting out some more content from my S20 pairing and other things now that I have a phone with good cameras all the way around. So keep watching. You know, you'll find me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
Yep.
And,
Yeah, I'll do a real quick plug. Yeah, if you guys don't know me, I'm Jerome Ortega. You can find me at Phone Jerome for everything: YouTube, Instagram, Twitter. I do daily streaming now, Monday through Friday, just talking about tech. And then with this guy below me, Simply Your Device, Mike,
Hey.
we host a show called The Standard on Sunday mornings at 9 a.m. Eastern. So, if you guys get a chance to check us out there. So,
good stuff.
cool.
All right. Good night, everybody.
Hi, guys.
Good night, all. Thanks for hanging with us. You know, you can stop